Call the meeting to order and ask for a roll call.
Blunier.
Here.
Leach. Lehman.
Here.
Menold.
Here.
Newman.
Here.
Parrott.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Ask to join me in Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There are no public hearing, presentations, or special reports. Any public comment?
Good evening, Mayor and Trustees. Leanne Brown with the Morton Economic Development Council and Chamber of Commerce. Just a couple of things to put on your radar and share with you and the public. We have an upcoming business continuity workshop that we are co-hosting with several regional chambers and other resources, American Red Cross, Ameren, Illinois, just to help start to plant the seed with businesses on the various disaster plans and preparation as they look at cybersecurity, natural disasters, all the elements of how to work a disaster plan to hopefully better their plan or start a plan if they don't have one. So this will take place on Wednesday, January 29th from 8:45 to 11:30 a.m. It is going to be in East Peoria at the Clock Tower building. So we've shared this information out there, but just wanted to make sure you and others were also aware of it. And then also, if you and others can join us, we've got a ribbon cutting tomorrow at Gina Jeffries. She has opened up her State Farm agency at 118 South Main Street. And so we're going to host a ribbon cutting with her to celebrate opening that business. I did bring a card if you want to pass this around and sign it from Mayor and Trustees. And then next week as well, we have our business after hours at the CMFS group, also there on Main Street. Feel free, it's open house style. Stop by, meet the team over there, meet others that will be in attendance, 4:30 to 6. There'll be a short program about 5:15, but otherwise, open house, come by as you can. And then just a reminder of our EDC symposium taking place next week at Caterpillar. It's a breakfast on Thursday, January 30th. I know several of the trustees will be there and staff, and look forward to hearing from Darren Martin, one of their leadership team members and board member of EDC, and sharing some highlights from 2019. And then we have our chamber annual meetup taking place on Thursday, February 6th out at Burroughs Farms. This is where we'll give some highlights of last year. And then the exciting part of the DSA award, our Volunteer of the Year award, and then of course our festival theme announcement. And we were able to see a highlight of the video last week, and it's very entertaining. So we're excited to launch into announcing our festival theme. So I think that's all I had, unless there's any questions from anybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Leanne. The consent agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting, January 6, 2019, and the closed session, January 6, 2019, and the approval of the bills.
I move to approve. Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Blunier.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I have nothing tonight. Clerk,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Village Administrator,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Chief of Police.
There are a few things this evening, Your Honor. In your packet, there's a list of the 2019 payroll expenses for various special events that the department provided security for. The total of that is $18,544.98 with the payroll taxes of $1,418.69 for a grand total of $19,963.67. I would request for approval to transfer this amount from the tourism tax fund back into the general fund.
Could I have a motion on that, please?
Move to approve. Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Lehman.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Secondly, Your Honor, this does not need a motion or a vote on it, but it shows the year-end miles for the patrol vehicles for this last year. With a total being driven for 260,506, and that is a typo down at the bottom. It was for 2019, not 2018.
Thank you.
Thirdly, Your Honor, in your packet, there is vehicle bids for the purchase of 2020 patrol vehicles. Back in August, I brought to you bids and ordered 2 squads at that time. We have 4 on our budget for this year. We still do not have those vehicles in. There's a 6-month build period on those. So we're anticipating those 2 to be completed shortly. With that in mind, and the 6-month possible delay from the time of order to getting this back, I anticipate these not coming, arriving and being paid for until fiscal year 21 comes into play. So I will move that monies into my budget for fiscal year 21 to make sure that we get that covered, with the intention of having those 2 purchased as well as 1 additional purchase. So there'll be a total to have 3 on my fiscal year 21 budget. But since they're in the budget now, and I think it's prudent to get them ordered, as you look at the miles for our squads, we have 4 squads which have over 100,000 miles. To put that into perspective, your personal vehicle, that's equivalent to having approximately 300,000. So on the squad car, with the hours that they run. This is an identical bid that I brought to you, except for one thing. On the base, since our last meeting, there's a mayor's bid, which comprise of, in the Chicagoland area, mayors from Illinois and Indiana that they do a bid. And there's 2 different bids. They do one for the state of Indiana and a mayor's bid for Illinois. And that is at Thomas Dodge in Highland, Indiana. And that one's for $28,297. There is approximately a $5,500 difference between it and the state bid from Morrow Brothers on the Ford SUV, which is what we've been purchasing. I have some concerns with the Dodge Durango, and the concern is an officer. It's not just an inconvenience, but it's also a potential safety hazard. I've shown you all pictures of the county squad car showing the laptop in proximity to the gear shift. Right now, the gear shift can only be ordered on the console. For 2021, it's anticipated that they'll also be on the tree or the column. I'm going to guess that that's because they've been receiving complaints about that, but I don't know that for fact. There was some conversation on could we look at different mounts to make the mount higher. Well, as you make the mount higher, you're bringing the laptop up. It makes it more difficult to try and type. Not just that, but the screen of the laptop is now obstructing the officer's view, both out the passenger side window as well as the front windshield. And I definitely see that as a safety concern for the officer. With all that being said, it would be my recommendation to place an order for 2 of the Ford Interceptor SUVs at this time. And then as we go into next year, in fiscal year 2021, the gear shift selector moves to the column of the Durango. I would be looking to probably recommend that.
Could we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any questions?
Yes, I guess a question I would have, and I was the one that raised the question of whether or not they could raise the laptop up. I guess that would also bring me the question is, what about, instead of taking it up, what about taking it out? So what if you can move it 3 inches out and be no longer an obstruction to the gear shifter?
Then it takes into the place where a passenger sits.
Is
Which
right now they're not, it's not taking in play where the passenger seat? I thought right now it already is over part of the
No,
passenger
not
seat.
in the SUVs. We've not had that issue. We do have that issue in the Impalas because of the passenger size. 'Cause
How
we saw-
often I guess how often does a passenger sit?
Well, we have a passenger in the vehicle whenever we're training an officer, officer training, or whenever auxiliary officers ride with us. So it varies. Auxiliary riders ride on a voluntary basis, and some of them ride quite a bit. So
I guess what I would throw out there is, I mean, this is not it'd be one thing if it was a small amount of money, but it's a large amount of money.
I agree.
A couple weeks ago, I wasn't here, but there was a vote that, took $15,000 away from the EDC. And, that was something that was a decision based upon, money coming from the general fund, and it was significant, for, clearly it's a fund that we're trying to watch. In this type of area we're looking at right now, that's 5473. If you just times 2 vehicles, that's almost $11,000. And next year may come and they may not redesign that gear shifter, if that's the case. So in the long run, if we're anticipating switching all of our vehicles down the road, if we had the opportunity to save $5,500, that could be thousands, over $100,000 in savings approximately, based upon our entire, if you're looking at all of our vehicles, just based upon doing a Durango instead of one model versus another. So I guess what I would, if we still want to vote on it tonight, great. Otherwise, what I would say is, maybe an area of opportunity, since we just talked about that laptop, is maybe do a little bit of trial, or maybe see if there's another company out there that has an idea as far as what they've done to resolve that problem. I think if it's a problem that we've solved in just one squad car, it's probably been an issue elsewhere. And I wonder if there's been a solution beyond just the change in the gear shift.
Any other comments?
Just procedural clarification, trustee, you can make a motion to table it. That's a priority motion. If you receive a second on that, that motion be called first before the underlying. You suggested whether or not you vote on it tonight, so I just want to be clear that you do have the opportunity to make that motion if you desire. If no motion's made, or if your motion's made but not seconded, then the original action would be voted.
And so my question to you, I guess, if we do not table it, that means we are voting on electing to choose a bid that is $5,473 higher.
The motion, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but the motion was to accept the state bid price for the Ford Interceptors.
So $10,946 difference. So my vote would be to, I guess in that case, I'm obviously don't want it to be unsafe. I'm not saying anyone should be unsafe, but I'd like to think that there's a solution for this, and I think it'd be an idea to table it for 2 weeks and for time for further research. So I'd make a motion.
Is there a second? If not, is there any other questions? I call a vote on the motion to purchase the 2 Morrow Brothers from Ford Interceptors.
Lehman,
No.
Mennel,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Parrot,
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Corporation, is that all, Chief?
That's all I have tonight, Your Honor. Thank you.
Corporation Counsel.
One item tonight, Your Honor, which is resolution number 16-20, a resolution establishing funding for economic development purposes. I can have motion second. I can
Okay,
introduce
so we have a
context
motion
behind it.
approved.
Move to approve.
Second.
This is a resolution that previously came before you, that was prior to when this committee was established to reconsider the funding model and objectives for the village's relationship with the EDC. Because it was tabled on August 5th, 2019, it's appropriate to bring that back before you procedurally. You've subsequently taken new action, which would be inconsistent with this action, so my presumption is you would all vote no and vote this down, but we need to go through that procedural step to kind of wrap up the prior action.
So is there any questions? Call the roll.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
No.
Parrot.
No.
Blunier.
No.
Lehman.
No.
Motion does not pass.
That's all I have to.
Sorry, real quick. That's too late. I mean, I misunderstood. Is it too late at this point?
It is.
Okay.
That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Okay. Director of Fire and Emergency Services,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Director of Public Works.
One item tonight, Your Honor. I'd like to ask for award of our annual fuel contract to Agland FS Incorporated.
Could I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions?
I'll just make a quick
Okay.
comment. Unfortunately, one bid again, Agland. I just wanted you guys to know I'm reaching out. I think there's 4 or 5 that I was in contact with. Agland, we've been with for, I think, my whole time here. So this is a little increase from the past, about 36 cents. 18 cents of that is the gas tax too. So unleaded's $2.50 with taxes and everything. So I just want to at least lay that out there. I think the pumps, when I saw coming in, were a little bit less than that. So I think there's probably some anticipation with the contracts they make that gas is obviously going to go up this next year. So far, we've been, I think in my time here, we've done really well on fuel. So I'm still hoping that's the case, but I'm a little more hesitant on this one. So I at least wanted to share that. With that, I'd like to ask for your approval.
Any other questions? Call the roll.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach. He's not. Lehman.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Motion passes.
That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Okay. Zoning Code Enforcement Officer, nothing. Village Trustees, anyone have anything tonight? If not, we do need a closed session.
Closed session is requested tonight for the purpose of discussing the purchase of real property per 5 ILCS 120/2C5.
Could I have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
And we see no action afterwards.